So for search engines, we're going to look at some advanced search features, then at what search engines don't do. Also important but not covered today are things you should do, so maybe learn more about how search engines work, how they choose what to push to the top, and how each personalizes results. So both Google and Bing will look at your social networking, your email if you do it through Gmail, and even some of your friends' things, and they'll look at that, your location. Search engine can see where you're physically located in the world and know that you're in English-speaking country in Texas, for example, and so they'll use that to push certain things to the top. So you won't get the same result as someone in another country would get for the same search. Something like DuckDuckGo actually doesn't keep any information on you. So your previous search history in a search engine like DuckDuckGo, it's not stored, it's not used. That's too much depth for today, but that's something that you should be aware of as you're doing legal research to make sure that you have the full picture and that you're not accidentally leaking some information to your social networking sites. So first off, the advanced search screen. This is the advanced search screen for Google. The two important things to notice here are, first, that you can look on just one site or domain, so you can take everything on a certain base URL and only search on that. You can search things that are only on .edu, things that are only on .tx.us for Texas agency websites. And the next thing is that you can limit by file type. So you can limit to just PDF documents, just .docx, just PowerPoints. And that may help if you know that all documents on an agency website or all the opinions that you're looking for will be in PDF. Then you can get rid of all the HTML, splash pages, and other sort of clutter for your search results. So first off, site search. When will you use it? Use this if an agency has documents up but it doesn't give you a search. And that's really, really common. Here are executive orders for 3 different states. An executive order is when the legislature is not in session or has not passed a law. The governor can actually sign something that has the effect of law. When these might commonly be done is if you have a federal requirement to implement a state program, but the legislature isn't going to meet for another 6 months, another year, and so the governor will just issue an executive order so that you can implement the federal program. Remember, a search engine won't index everything, so if the agency gives you a search, then try to use that. But if you don't have a search, then use the Google site search. So as an example is, maybe I have this Texas Bar article on hydraulic fracturing. This is a recent article in the Texas Bar Journal about hydraulic fracturing. And in reading this, I can see that the Railroad Commission had a hearing about this case on December 8th, 2010. So I want to see documents related to that hearing. And the first place to look is at the endnotes for the article. I can see that endnote 8 here should have some resources about it. And in scrolling down, I get to endnote 8 and I see that it's only citing the federal court case. And in fact, in reading this article and looking at cites, I only see cites for the federal court case, nothing for the state court case. So I can come over and just quickly find administrative orders by the Texas Railroad Commission. I can see the opinions are here. So proposals for decision is the administrative order, and they have it divided out by type of case. And then within that type of case, they have even more which law applies. So here, Rule 28 has 2 cases. Rule 37 has a whole bunch of cases. And those cases aren't really organized by anything other than docket number, so the order that they were initially filed in. To navigate this site by browsing, I'm going to have to first understand that area of law well, understand which type of order this is, then understand what issue applies, and then I'm going to have to look through a bunch of cases to try to find the one I'm looking for, the one involving range. So Range Production Company. And that's going to take a lot of time if I don't already have practice in this area. But in looking through these, I can see, okay, in the bottom left-hand corner, when I mouse over, the URL where that actual order is at will appear, and it's on the Railroad Commission's website in a folder called Meetings. And when I go through a couple of other cases, I'll see that actually everything is in a folder called Meetings. So by mousing over in the bottom left-hand corner, I can see these are all in a folder called Meetings. And as I go through all of these, I can see that. So first, I'll right-click and copy the location of one of these. Then I'll go over to my search engine. Go to the Advanced Search. And then I can limit to things that appear on that domain in the folder called Meetings. And I'll look first for hydraulic, fracturing, and then Range Production Company. And that got 7 results. I'll just narrow those a little bit by putting quotes around range to look for the exact words. And here I got 2 results. And actually, this first result, I can see there's a March 22nd conference. I'm looking for something with a December 8th hearing. So I'll just check, is this what I'm looking for? And I can see, the notice of hearing was December 8th, so this is what I was looking for. One other quick thing to notice is, look, when I select inside this PDF, they didn't actually recognize for text in this document. So, to go from text to something that I can go Control F in, I'll just quickly go back over to my search engine and use the cache, which is the search engine saved copy of that document. I can get to that by clicking Quick View. And see here in the top right corner it says extracting text. It's actually going to make a searchable version of this so that I can then type in whatever I want in this document and I can find that word. So I'll look for EPA, and I see there are 23 matches. I can go to the next match, the next match, the next match, and then I can see right here I only have to look on page 4 or I only have to look on page 10. It won't work for every document, but if you're on someone else's computer, you're not on your regular computer, and you don't have access to Adobe Acrobat Professional or something else that can recognize the text, then this is kind of a quick and dirty way to get there.